Good evening, everyone. It's a beautiful Wednesday evening here in Queen City, Nevis, and it is the 26th of November, 2025. Guess what? It's just another month and it's Christmas time. I can't believe it. It's like yesterday we were saying Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, and now we are almost at the end of 2025. Unbelievable. Every time I come here to host On The Mark, I just have to marvel at how quickly the days and the weeks and the months have gone by for 2025. I think this was a record-breaking year in terms of how fast it went by. And anyway, we are getting old. That's the problem. That's the only problem. We are getting old. Anyway, it's a beautiful Wednesday evening. It is the 26th day of November 2025, and it's the On The Mark program once again here on the Eastern Caribbean Spa House, Vaughan Radio 860 on your AM dial, www.vaughanradio.com, and of course we are live on Facebook as well. And of course, I'm sure you realize by now that it's not the regular host. The Honorable Mark Brandley is not on island. He has left me to host the show this evening, so you have me to deal with. So we're going to be here from now until 10 o'clock. Of course, we know that we're here every Wednesday evening from 8 until 10, and of course we know this is a very, very popular radio show. And of course, we know that persons here in the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis across the region and in the diaspora, they're glued to their radios, they're glued to their phones every Wednesday evening because they want to be a part of the On The Mark program. Of course, commercial-free talk show for 2 hours. And so you'll have me with you tonight. I'm the Honorable Evelyn, and I'll be sitting in for the Honorable Mark Brantley, the Premier, and we're going to be here for 2 hours. Of course, we have another exciting show lined up for you, and so I want to especially welcome all of you who are in tune and logged on to the Eastern Caribbean Spa House. Good evening to all of you in the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis, those in the Eastern Caribbean, wherever you are, those in the diaspora. We know we have listeners in North America, in Europe, in Taiwan, all over the globe. People just want to know what's happening in Nevis and just want to be a part of On The Mark. And so we welcome all of you who are in tune. It's always good to have you with us, and I'm encouraging you to stay with us for the entire 2 hours. And of course, we remind you as well that those of you who miss it, those of you who listen tonight, we encourage you to listen again tomorrow, because the show is rebroadcast every Thursday from 1 until 3 p.m. And so if you listen tonight, I know you will listen again tomorrow. And those of you who are going to miss tonight, I know you're going to listen tomorrow. And so it's once again, it's a beautiful, beautiful Wednesday evening here in Queen City, Nevis. It was a pretty warm day, and the evenings are already getting a bit cool because, you know, it's getting pretty close to Christmas. I have two guests with me this evening, and I'm going to have another one a little later on. So I'm fortunate I'm going to have company tonight. I have three guests, but before I get to my guests, of course, we know at the top of the show, we normally do a little bit of housekeeping matters, and so we're going to deal with that just about now. And so, of course, to start things off, we normally extend birthday greetings to those persons who are fortunate to be celebrating. And so we want to start off by saying good evening and belated birthday greetings to Her Honor, the Deputy Governor General, Mrs. Hailita Liebert. You celebrated your birthday yesterday, and I hope that you had a wonderful and amazing day. The Honorable Alexis Jeffers, you also celebrated your birthday yesterday. Hope you had well, I know that you're having a good time. I know you're still having a good time, Honorable Alexis Jeffers. And so belated birthday greetings to you. I also want to send some belated birthday greetings to my goddaughter, Ethansia Samuel, over there in Fothergill's Hickman. She celebrated her birthday on Monday. Spoke to her as well, and I know she had a wonderful time. And for those of you who might be celebrating today, Philroy Walters up there in Rollins, happy birthday to you, and anyone else who's celebrating today, we want to wish you a very happy birthday. We want to go back to last week, because last week my very good friend Maisie Pemberton, Mrs. Maisie Pemberton of Claygot, she made, I think, was 97 last week Monday. And making a birthday like that, you need to be celebrating for the rest of the year and for another couple of months. Okay, so my very good friend Auntie Mays there in Claygot, I know you had a rough year so far, but I know you are a resilient lady, and so I know that you would have had a wonderful time on your 97th birthday. So I wish you many, many more. And as I tell you every time I visit you, make sure you take the singles and make sure you get to that century mark. I'm sure if you're listening, I know that you're there smiling away. That's my darling, sweet little Auntie Mays there in Clegot. And guess what? Mary Dore over in Hickman, you made 70 last week as well. You made a milestone. And I know you also had a blast last week for your birthday. And this coming Saturday, or is it Sunday, we have Mr. Joseph Baby Budgeon of Craddock Road. You're making 94. You're making 94 this weekend, and you've got some special greetings coming your way from your loving granddaughter Shamika Budgeon. And Shamika wants me to tell you that she loves you very much, and she hopes that you're going to have a wonderful day come this Sunday. That's Mr. Budgeon, Joseph Baby Budgeon there in Craddock Road, making 94. Our folks in Nevis they are living to some nice ripe ages, and it's got to be something they have been doing. Don't know if it's what they're eating, whether they're exercising or whatever, but they are doing very well. And so we want to congratulate them once they reach that to those high age. Of course, we know nowadays sometimes people are not getting up there. I don't know if it's what we are doing, but we are really happy when people get to the 90s and the 80s and over a century. So whatever you guys are doing, continue to do, and we wish you all the very best. And of course, those of you who are not feeling so well, we want to greet you as well. If you're in the hospital, if you're in the homes, the Flamboyant Nursing Home, the St. George and St. John Senior Citizens Home, we greet you as well. And of course, we greet all those who are taking such wonderful care of you. And of course, we know that they must have a lot of patience, and so we congratulate those of you who take such extra special care of our folks there at the Alexandra Hospital and in the homes as well. And of course, we know that we are a caring, small community, and we also reach out to those who are in the bereaved column. We have quite a few persons in the bereaved column, and so we want to say good evening and condolences to persons who are in the bereaved column. We want to say condolences to the family of Mr. Winston Euclid Sadler, judge. I know that he was have already been laid to rest, but I want to just take this opportunity. He worked with me at the Department of Agriculture. His daughter Coletta works with us still at the Department of Agriculture. So I just want to say continued prayers for you guys, and I trust that you continue to hold on. I also want to say condolences to the family of the late Marva Brandy. She was laid to rest yesterday. She's from my constituency and from my village. It was a wonderful service for nice, quiet, humble individual. And of course, we want to say continued condolences to her daughter Katisha and the grandchildren, to her mom Mildred Somersel, and of course the siblings Arlene and Errol and Alman and the rest of the family. Continue to hold on in prayer. We also want to send condolences to the family of the late Emmanuel Hendrickson, better known as Meyer, from there in the Hickmans area. To the entire family, condolences to you. Condolences as well to the family of the late Mr. Selwyn Hobson from my constituency. Died 2 days shy of his 99th birthday. 2 days shy of his 99th birthday. And Mr. Hobson was such a live wire. At 97 and 98, he was still driving into Charlestown, still paying his bills. I mean, he was such an amazing person. Even I think it was the week before he passed away, I visited him at the hospital. When I went to visit, he was so alert, you know, and we really thought that he was going to make that century as well, but it wasn't the plan of the Lord. So to the family, especially to his son Paul and the rest of the grieving family, we say condolences to you. I think he'll be laid to rest on Monday. And of course, we also say condolences to the family of the late Reverend Brown, who was living there at Cotton Ground, to his wife Cicely and son Dalvern and the rest of the family. And we also say condolences to the family of the late Pastor Ken Williams from Rollins as well. And so all of you who are in the bereaved column, we hear from the On the Map program, all of us here from the Eastern Caribbean's Powerhouse. We are with you during this very difficult time. We know it's never easy to lose someone, and so we trust that God will continue to hold you in his embrace during this very difficult time. We have some more things to deal with, but in right now, I know my guests are very anxious to speak. So I'm going to go to my I have two lovely ladies, two beautiful ladies in the house tonight, and they're saying that both of them, they are going to be actually appearing on the Mark program for the very first time. And so I think I am honored this evening to host them. And so the On the Mark program is honored to host them as well. And the Eastern Caribbean's powerhouse, One Radio, we are very happy to have you. Here at One Radio, our motto is only the best will do. And so I think I have the cream of the crop here tonight in these two lovely ladies. It's a pleasure to have you. And I'm going to ask them to introduce themselves. I'm going to start over to my far right.
Thank you, Honourable Eric Evelyn. Good evening, everybody out there in Radioland. My name is Pamela Martin, and I am the Film Commissioner with the Nevis Film Commission.
And hello, good evening. I am Juliet Jeffers, and I am the writer, director, actor, producer of Pangirl, the film, which will be premiering this Friday.
Fantastic. And I'm sure our listeners, just by hearing those voices, you can see how beautiful these ladies are. All right. So, ladies, it's a pleasure to have both of you with us this evening. And you're going to be sharing some information with us. Of course, we know that during and after the COVID-19 pandemic, the Nevis Island administration has been saying all along that we want to diversify. We don't want to continue to put all our eggs in one basket. We know the issues we had with tourism when during the COVID-19 pandemic, and one of the things we decided to do as an administration is to do some work in the area of film. And of course, we've had several films being done here on the island of Nevis, which we are very proud of and we are very happy for. And I think that the work continues where that is concerned. And because we are doing so much work here, we now have a film commission. And so that is where Miss Martin comes in. And Miss Martin, I'm not sure if many persons who are listening or who are viewing know much about the Film Commission. So tell us a little bit about the Film Commission and how it was developed and established.
Okay, so the Film Commission, as you said, because of the successes that were had with, during the pandemic, with the movies here, it was thought that it was something that could be further developed on the island of Nevis. And so the Film Commission was established really from the 1st of August 2023 with the mandate to attract productions to the island of Nevis. So that's a production, whether it's a fashion shoot, a commercial, a music video, a short movie, a long form movie, any type of production to continue what was started. So that the Film Commission was established the 1st of August 2023, and we still continue now to try to attract international and of course local and regional productions to the island of Nevis to showcase the island, and also to as economic benefit, and also to work on the skills of the local artists here and the creative, to develop and to build up the skills as well for the island.
Fantastic. So do you actually have a staff, or no? Sometimes here in Nevis, because we are a small island and we have a small population, we don't have much resources financially. Sometimes we have to work on our own. The Film Commission, are you a one-lady show? Do you have persons to assist you?
I'm a one-lady show,
okay.
But I do have, of course, there are people that I reach out to that work along with me as well to help. We work together. Everybody kind of cooperates together.
Okay, fantastic. So tell us, what has the Film Commission been up to since it was formed?
Okay, so right. So we started off, and literally the next month I was introduced to Juliet. That was in September 2023, and she came and we spoke, and she talked about wanting to do more productions on the island and kind of to share and give back some of her skills that she's gained over 20 plus years of working in the industry. And so we started off by, quite simply, we did a couple of acting master classes, which Juliet led, and they went very well. We had some great students, some great talent. Everybody loved them, and they were eager to get back into the industry, which is what we discovered. So we started off with a couple of, the acting classes, and then we moved on into looking, trying to attract international productions. There was a couple of local productions. There was a documentary that was done by a local gentleman here, which we screened in April. And then since then, we've had a lot of people actually, fortunately, reach out to us at the Film Commission, asking questions, wanting to know how they can film here. They've been told about it, or they've read about it online, or they've heard from before. And so we've been fortunate to have, TV series. We've done short films, full-length movies. So we've done quite a number of productions, especially this year. So far, so good. We're doing quite well. We have one on the island at the moment, actually, which is a romance movie.
Okay.
So that's taking place right now. And then we have another one coming in early December, which is actually PBS Network.
Okay.
They're going to be doing 2 episodes of a program called Hometown, which focuses on small island, small town life. And this is going to be their first international edition. So they're actually going to do 2 episodes. They were going to do 1 initially, but when we began to speak, and I shared all the amazing things that there are on Nevis and all the people that they, have great stories to share, they said, there's so much great stuff, it's too much just to do 1 episode. So they're going to do 2 episodes, and then hopefully next year we have another full-length feature.
Fantastic.
Early in the year.
Sound like you've been hard at work. And the Film Commission
Yes.
has been getting results
Absolutely.
then. Great.
Absolutely.
Tell us a little bit more about, you said there's one currently being filmed on the island, a romance movie. Tell us a little bit more about that.
Okay. So the producer is Serafina King. She is actually an actress. So now she's acting and she's producing this movie. And it's a romance movie because, of course, when they see Nevis, they think of romance and all the beautiful landscapes and seascapes that they have here. So right now there are about 10 local people who have actually speaking parts. So this is one of the things that we try to encourage as well, is to include as many people on staff. These are hired, right? So they're paid for being a part of the movie. So we have about 10 people right now who are actually have speaking parts in this movie, and then there are several more who have more background parts, and then there are others like taxi drivers, truck rentals, and so a lot of the times these movies you can have 30 or so local people who are involved who are actually getting paid to work along with the movies. So right now they're here until about the 10th of December, and they're going from location to location. They filmed at the Artisan Village, they filmed at the airport, they filmed at Lovers Beach, they're filming at Four Seasons. So they have a whole schedule where they film, and they basically film somewhere different almost every day.
And of course, Nevis is very, very small compared to the other islands where these producers are coming from. How do they respond when they get to Nevis?
They love Nevis.
Everybody, I believe.
They absolutely love Nevis. It's incredible. They really, when they get here, a lot of the time what they do is they'll come for a couple of days and do what we call a location scout. So they'll come to the island, they'll take a look around at different locations that they think, will fit in with their script. And then we'll kind of select loosely the locations. And so, most of the time when we take them around, they fall in love.
Fantastic.
They fall in love, and the island really resonates. I mean, even yesterday, I was on set, and one of the gentlemen who's like a grip, excuse me, he called me over, and and he said, I have to say that this is the most incredible experience. He said, everybody on the island is so nice, no matter where I've been. Everybody has just been so welcoming, so warm. He said, it's just an incredible experience, so thank you for allowing us to come. And so and that's just continues over and over again. It's the same story. They say this is paradise. We just love it here.
It certainly is. And so I'm gonna speak to our local celebrity here now.
Aww.
All right. Thank you for that in-depth information regarding the Film Commission, Pam, and we'll get back to you a little later. But Juliet, I'm sure a lot of persons in Nevis don't know who Juliet is. So you need to tell her, because I still can't believe this is the first time you're coming on the mark. I've heard a lot about you, and of course, you have a lot of people out there blowing your horn. So tell us who Juliet Jeffers is.
Juliet Jeffers. Well, first of all, my father was born and raised in Butler's Village,
Nice.
and my mother's from St. Kitts, and so having those two anchors as my root, part of my root, my foundation, has been an absolute honor, actually. And so even though I wasn't born in Nevis, I am a Nevisian.
We are still claiming you. We are still claiming you.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And I love it here. And I originally, as Pam mentioned, that I came here and I wanted to I wanted to teach a class here. I wanted to get something going here, and especially when I heard about MSR coming during the pandemic. I said to myself, well, if they're going there and they might be hiring a lot of background locals, but it seems like all of the big roles are going to the people who, outsiders, international people, whether they're American or from the UK. And so I said, I want my people to have prominent roles. And after I taught the acting class, as Pam mentioned, I thought to myself, okay, I want to shoot, my goal next year is to shoot a short film. And at the time, I didn't know what it was going to be yet. And I decided Pan Girl is actually based on a solo play that I did. It's inspired by it. And so I said, well, I have the script. Why don't I just turn it into a short film and make it work? So I, made some tweaks, and then we started the casting process.
Juliet, before we get to that, though,
Okay.
because we are excited to hear about Pan Girl, but before we get to that, we want to hear a little bit more about your background in terms of acting and so on.
Okay.
Right? Let the people
Yes.
know. Don't be afraid.
Yes, so I started acting. If anybody remembers or knows the film Fame, and there was a TV show based on the same name, it was about a high school, a performing arts high school, and that's the high school that I went to in Manhattan. And so I had the acting training from a young age and always knew that I wanted to act, but I went to college so that I could have something to fall back on, and I
Good.
studied languages. And but then when I graduated, I was like, okay, I'm off to California, because I knew at that point there was a lot of TV, more TV that was shot in California than in New York. So if you wanted to be on TV, LA was the place to go.
Right.
So I moved out to Los Angeles, and the beginning of my career, I did shows like Fresh Prince of Bel-Air and Martin and Young and the Restless, and there's so many different shows in that was around the 90s. And now currently I'm recurring on a show on Netflix called The Residents, as well as a show on Paramount Plus called Tulsa King. So those are streaming right now. And so, yes, I've been pretty much working pretty consistently in the industry for a long time.
Well, it sounds like a long time, but anybody who looks at you wouldn't believe it's a long time because you still look so very, very, very young.
I started
Very
when I was
youthful.
2.
And what has the experience been like, Juliet?
I love it. Pamela and I were just talking about how she loves her job. I love my job. I feel so fortunate because a lot of people can't say that, where they say, oh, I love the job I do. I go into work every day happy and all of that. And so I'm blessed, and also blessed with the fact that I knew that this is what I wanted to do from a young age. And so, of course, there are struggles, there are ups, there's downs, and if it's something that you're meant to do, that is really a part of you, and it's your heart, it's your heartbeat, then you're going to weather the storm when it gets rough. And so, like I said, there's been ups and downs for me, but mostly ups. And every time, if I go through a storm, let's say, God is there to show me that I'm still on the right path. Something will happen to say, okay, you're still on the right path. Keep going. Keep doing it, And so I'm very happy that I chose this career, or the career was chosen for me.
Yes.
And my father actually was an actor. I mean, he didn't do it professionally, but he liked to act. He sang. He wrote stories. He wrote poetry. And so I definitely have that creative bug from my father.
Fantastic. And I just want to say as well that we in the Nevis Island Administration, we're very happy that at least normally sometimes when people go to the U.S., they live in the U.S. and they have their roots here, sometimes they don't come back. Sometimes they forget about Nevis. And we are so delighted and so pleased that you have decided you want to come back and you want to give back.
Yes.
We are very, very pleased about that, and we salute you for that.
Thank you.
Now, so when you came back for the first time, you wanted to give back, you wanted to do some training. What was the response like from the locals?
They were happy about it, and they were eager to learn. And eager to try something new, and for some of them who had done theater training and all of that. But one of the things that I did was I had like an on-camera sort of scene training, so that they can get to see, they do a scene and they get to see themselves on screen, and I was able to give them notes, and they were able to do it again, so they have a sense of what it looks like if they were to do an audition, and so the thing for me was that I was so impressed with the talent. Nevis has some talent, boy.
As a matter of fact, I guess you were looking to my crystal ball, because I was just going to ask you, in terms of the persons who you would have worked with, the persons who you would have trained, do you see any persons there who you think can make it big out there?
Yes, absolutely. As a matter of fact, when I taught the class, and I had them in mind when I wrote the film, and I said, okay, so and so will be perfect for this, so and so will be perfect for that. And so I was so happy to be able to cast them, because how many times do you have a chance where you take an acting class and then next thing you know, you're in a film? You know what I mean? For it to happen that quickly without having years and years and years of training. But I believe in the students that I had, and then besides the students, we found, when in the auditioning process, we found some other actors who are quite amazing as well. So I'm really looking forward to seeing. I'm so happy that all these other films have come in, and looking forward to see what's next, because there's a lot of great talent here, and they need to be put on the map.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, all right. Well, so you're here because you're here for a special occasion that's happening on Friday.
Yes.
You're here for a premiere of Pangal. What inspired you to write this film, Pangal?
So I've always been in love with the steel pan drum, the sound of it, and just anybody who plays it, I think they're just really cool.
Definitely.
And so even as a child, when I saw a female play, that even stood out to me more, because I was like, oh, that's cooler, right? And so I wanted to write a story that showcased, the idea of determination, right? Setting a goal and achieving it, and also equality, that a woman can do this as well, right? And this happens to be a coming-of-age story, so that's why it's Pan-Girl. The main focus is on this young lady who wants to play so badly, and she deals with some obstacles to get there. But then in the meantime, it's also a story about the relationship between a man and his daughter, and so that the bond that is there and cannot be broken. So I think that Nivisions and Catitions will see themselves in this film, because they're, between the culture and the food. I always like to have a dinner scene or something in the middle, because everyone can relate to food. And
Caribbean people like food.
Right, exactly. So, so they'll just see themselves in this film and know. And for the young people who sometimes you watch TV or you watch a film and you go, oh, that's them, I could never do that. That might be fun, but I can never do that. We don't have many examples of that, of Nivisions or Catitions being on film, being on TV. And so the more they see that, the more they can believe that, ooh, I can do this too. So whether it's actually being on screen or behind the scenes, all the crew that we have, I feel like we'll get more, because you'll start to see more, right? So that's my desire for Nevis, for it to continue to grow.
So how long did it take you to do the filming and the packaging, the editing, and so on for this movie?
We shot it in June of this year, and it was a 6-day shoot, because it's a short film. And then
how long? Short?
25 minutes.
Okay.
Yes, yes. And then we've been editing up until the last minute. There were just some final little tweaks that we needed to do just over the weekend. And so, but I set the time. I said, I want to do the premiere in Nevis. And I talked to Pam about what date would work, and we picked this date. And so that was nice to have that goal, that this is when I'm going to have this done by. And so that's the timeline of it.
So the big premiere is when?
Friday night. This Friday night, the 28th.
2 nights from tonight.
Yes, yes. So it's the 28th at 7 p.m. at NEPAC, Nevis Performing Arts Center. And I would suggest that everyone get there early so that they can just settle in. And what else? It's $20 for adults. And
that's a giveaway as well.
Yes, we make it nice and reasonable. And then $10 for children under 12. And they can pay at the door if they'd like. And we're going to have some door prizes as well, some raffles. Do you want to talk about some of the raffles?
Yes. So we're fortunate that we have partnered with Cape Air at the beginning of this year. They actually reached out to us and said, hey, we've seen this developing on Nevis, and we'd love to partner with you. So they have sponsored several flights between St. Thomas and Nevis, and so on Friday evening there's going to be one of those flights. And also a great partner is the Mount Nevis Hotel, and so they have offered a one-night stay for 2 people. And then Juliet, of course, is going to be doing an acting master class as well for some lucky person who wins.
Yes, so one-on-one coaching.
Fantastic.
Yes.
That's fantastic.
Yes.
So persons, when you pay your $20, that's little small $20, you can actually win some amazing prizes. So I'm sure Juliet and Pam would like to see that NEPAC fill to capacity.
Of course.
Yes, that's the goal.
So Juliet, who are the local stars in Pangirl?
So we have Hadassah Daniel, who plays Pangirl, and then we have Devancia Brown, who plays the younger version of Pangirl, and the main character's name is Roshan. And then we have Winston Crook, who plays Mr. Quayle. I purposely named my characters after some of my family members.
Yeah, because Quayle is a butler's name.
Yes, so that's my family's. So exactly. So my father, even he's Jeffers, but his mother was Quayle, and so I have like my uncle Zephy is in it in terms of the character's name, and Zephaniah, Wesley, James was my father's first name. So James Quayle is the father of the Pangirl. And then we have Michael Henville, who's in it. He plays one of the father's friends. A lot more, but we actually there were 21 speaking parts, and out of those 21, 19 are local actors. So it's very impressive that I was able to.
And you said you did this in 6 days, so it sounds like those actors that you had, you didn't have a hard time getting them trained.
No, I did a little rehearsal before with them so that they could be ready, but for the most part, it was a lot of, like I said, natural talent. So I was very impressed. Fantastic.
I'm going to ask you a question. Pangirl. Why not Pangirl?
Who says girl here?
That's what I'm saying. So.
Girl.
So you want Nevis twang?
Yes, man.
Okay.
Authentic.
I love that. The real Nevis thing. Fantastic.
Yes.
All right. So you say it's happening on Friday. Give us the time.
So Friday, the 28th at 7 p.m.
And I want you to encourage persons to come out and be a part of it and to support.
Yes. First of all, I would love to meet you in person. So definitely come out, and you're gonna walk away feeling inspired, hopeful, full of joy. That is the point of the film. That is the point of me as an artist, to inspire people. And so, and how can you not be inspired when it's a movie about your people?
Precisely.
About Nevis. So come on out. I'm looking forward to meeting you all.
And I'm sure you feel extra special and extra proud that you're doing this in Nevis. You're adopted home.
Yes. I wouldn't have, I told Pam that I wouldn't have wanted to screen this for the first time anywhere else. This was the obvious choice to premiere it. And so that, and of course, I've seen the movie obviously because I was in the process of editing it and so on, but I haven't seen it on the big screen. So I have a little jitters myself to see it, And so it's but to have that moment and share it with you all, ooh, That's going to be priceless. And I know my ancestors are going to be in the room, clapping, right? Applauding. So I'm really looking forward to it.
And I understand as well that after the film, that persons will have an opportunity to speak to you, to interact with you.
Right. We will have some cocktails and juices, refreshments after the event.
Yes.
Or after the screening, and then opportunity to take pictures and to mingle and chat.
Yeah, we'll have there's actually going to be, immediately following the screening, there's going to be a Q&A.
Okay.
Oh, yes.
So Michael Henville is going to host the Q&A with the main three characters.
Fantastic.
So the audience get to ask questions, find out a little bit more about, make comments.
Yes.
And then we're going to go into the courtyard and we're going to have some, like I said, cocktails, like refreshments. We're going to have red carpet so people will be able to take beautiful photographs. We're going to have another section where they'll be able to make some comments. We'll have a video, someone interviewing, so they'll be able to express, their sentiments about the film outside afterwards and share that on screen, and just basically mix and mingle with the cast as well and the crew who put the beautiful movie together.
Well, that sounds fantastic to me. That sounds really great, and I'm sure that a lot of persons who are listening will be lining up to come and see, of course, the handiwork of our very own Juliet Jeffers, our own celebrity here. And I personally am looking forward to it on Friday evening. Can't wait for Friday evening to come to see your handiwork, and I'm sure other divisions are waiting eagerly with bated breath to see what you have produced as well. So I want you to encourage persons to come out in their numbers and be a part of that premiere. Yes. Please come out, check it out. It is going to be an amazing event, and I'm just excited about it. I'm very excited about it. I'm very excited for everyone else to share that with me, and be there. As they say, be there, be square. and you're not the only one excited. I'm not the only one excited as well, because you have two friends here. They are my friends as well, Joy and Peter. Yes. And they are just as excited as you are. They are in St. Kitts and they'll be coming over. Spending the weekend, and they'll be there to witness it on Friday evening. So Juliet, now that you're here, now that you've done Pangirl, what's next? I have some ideas for other films, but also Pangirl is a short film, and lots of times filmmakers, they might make a short film with the intention of shooting the full-length version. And so that is my intention. I would like to shoot the full-length version, and I'm putting it out there right now to Disney, to Netflix, to Hulu, to whoever wants to take on that, because I think it's a story that, not only, yes, it's a division story, but I think everyone can relate to it.
Absolutely.
Right? And the music is really beautiful, and my boyfriend, Ontario, was the music composer for this, and some local artists contributed their songs too. So it's definitely going to be, I feel like it's going to be catchy, right? And so there's definitely a future for Pangirl. Yes. Right? But I also have other stories in mind that I would like to shoot here.
And I am so excited that you did something with Pan as well, because I mean Pam would know that here in Nevis, Pan has been, I would say, revolutionized. I mean, everybody wants to play Pan now. During Culturama, we have a competition. During Carnival in St. Kitts, we have steel band groups from Nevis going over to St. Kitts to compete. So you hear Pan in the churches, you hear it in the schools, you hear it in the communities. Pan is everywhere. Everybody is excited about Pan music. So I believe it's very timely that at least you would have done a film on focus on Pan.
Yes. Yeah, it's I mean, music in general is so universal. It's like universal language, right? And just like I said earlier, the sound of the pan is just so enticing
and soothing.
Yes. And so it's only done in the Caribbean. So it's this is what we have here. This is our main instrument.
Of course.
So of course it had to be a part of the film.
Great. Yes. Well, listen, it has been such a pleasure having both of you here. Before you leave, I'm going to give you an opportunity to give some parting words. I mean, starting with you, Pam.
Okay.
Anything you want to say about the Film Commission? Anything you want to say about Pan Girl? Whether you want to continue to encourage persons to come out and support the event on Friday?
Absolutely, yes. Of course, come out on Friday and support the event. And, you know, it's a celebration of our culture. It's a celebration of Pan. You know, it's something that we all, resonates with all of us. And I believe it's going to be a wonderful evening, a celebration of culture. But I also would like to thank those people who have partnered. So, you know, of course, Mount Nevis Hotel, Movies at NEPAC themselves, and Juliet, obviously, for your wonderful gift, and of course KPAIR, who have sponsored us for the past 12 months. The various screenings that we've done, they've been there and they sponsored us. So, and you know, many of the people who've assisted. So I really want to say a huge thank you to everybody who comes out for the screenings, who will come out on Friday, and all those who contribute to help build Nevis's film industry. It's an amazing time for us all, and we're all really excited about it. And so we want everybody to come on board.
Thank you so very much. Juliet?
Well, I'd like to say that one of the things that this film will do for you, if you have ever had a dream, if you ever had a goal, something that you've always wanted to do, then this film will encourage you to know that it is possible. It is possible. And I'll give a quick story about me shooting this film, because I knew that I was going to shoot a film here. I didn't have the money. I didn't have the crew. I didn't know how it was going to come together, but I set the goal in mind, you know. So it's one of those things where, you know, you take one step, God takes two.
Yes.
I know I probably messed that up, but it's the idea, right? And so you set something into motion, and then things just keep coming into place. And that's what happened with me in the shooting of the film, and that's what happens with Pan Girl. She sets a goal, and she achieves it because it's meant to be.
Great. Couldn't have said it any better. And I'm looking forward to seeing you all on Friday evening at 7 o'clock.
Thank you.
And I just want to say it has been a pleasure having you here
Thank you.
on the Mark program. You brought a spark to the program this evening, so thank you all so much for being
Thank
here.
you.
Thank you for
And
having us.
It's my pleasure, and anytime in the future that you want to come back, on the Mark is always very welcoming.
Thank you.
Thank you all for coming,
Thank
and
you.
Thank
I want to join with you in encouraging persons to come to NEPAC. Fill NEPAC up on Friday. Come and celebrate with our local artists, and of course celebrate with our local celebrity here, Juliet Jeffers. And of course, just show her some love. She has shown Nevis love, and we need to reciprocate. Okay, so thank you all so much for being here.
Thank you.
Looking forward to seeing you all on Friday.
Okay, same
All
here.
right, bye-bye.
Thank you.
Okay.
And so there you had it, ladies and gentlemen. We've just been speaking to two lovely guests here, Pamela Martin and Juliet Jeffers. Of course, Pam is responsible and in charge of the Film Commission here on the island of Nevis. And Juliet Jeffers is our local celebrity who has been doing a lot of work in the U.S. And of course, she now wants to share her expertise with us here on the island of Nevis. And so we want to thank her so very much. Of course, you've heard a lot about Pangal. That will be the premiere will be coming this Friday evening at NEPAC at 7 o'clock. So this Friday, 7 o'clock at NEPAC, your acts come out and support. It's only $20 to get you in, and so you can come and be a part of the event, and it promises to be a wonderful, wonderful evening. Of course, there will be a question and answer session after, and then of course there will be a cocktail event as well, and so you're invited to come on down to NEPAC and be a part of the event on Friday. It's now 8:45 to 9 o'clock. As I indicated before, I have another guest, and as my guest is making her way in, let me just continue with a little bit more housekeeping matters. Just wanted to indicate that this is the month of November, and this is Fisheries Month. We are coming to a close. Fisheries Month is coming to a close, and I just wanted to indicate that it was a very successful month. We had a number of activities, and we're going to be climaxing Fisheries Month this coming Friday, the 28th of November, and that's the climaxing event will be a fish fry, and it's happening at the Fisheries Complex in Charlestown. And I can tell you they have a mouth-watering menu for you at the Fisheries Complex this coming Friday. And so let me just tell you what that mouth-watering menu looks like and what it sounds like. And so for the lunch menu, which is $35, they have creamy mahi or Creole potfish. They have lentils, seasoned rice. They have mac seafood pie. Sounds good. Mac seafood pie. They have sauté vegetables, and they have salad. They also have fry fish. They will be for $10 and up. They have bakes for $2. They have conch chowder, $30. Shellfish soup, $20. Grilled lobster, $30 and up. They have grilled conch, $30 and up. There will be local drinks, soft drinks and beers. The bar, $5 each. And so it's all happening to climax Fisheries Month. It's all taking place this coming Friday, the 28th of November. And you're asked to go on down to the Fisheries Complex there on the waterfront in Charlestown and support the close or the climax of Fisheries Month. And while I'm talking about fisheries as well, I just wanted to indicate that coming up very shortly, during the month of December, there will be the boat licensing. That will be the boat licensing period for boat owners and vessel owners here on Nevis. And I just wanted to indicate the times. December 1st to the 2nd, it will be for persons in Charlestown, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. December the 3rd, it will be Jessops and Cotton Ground, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Again, on December 4th to 5th, it will be Jones Bay, the same 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. On December 8th to the 9th, it's Newcastle, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. again. December the 10th is Long Haul Bay, 9 to 1. And then finally on December the 11th, it's Indian Castle, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. And you're asked to note that there will be no grace period. So please go on out and license your vessels. Fishermen, please take note. And of course, we are asking you to take note and of course do what you have to do. You know, there are penalties if your vessel is not licensed and you're caught on the sea. You need to have your safety equipment and all of that. I think you all know what you need to have for the licensing of your vessel. So we're asking you to do that. I just wanted to say as well that on the weekend of November 14th to the 16th, I would have attended an event in Anguilla called Hook and Harvest, and of course the department and the Ministry of Agriculture, which I'm fortunate to lead, we were able to partner with that event. It was a wellness weekend event promoting wellness, health and wellness, promoting food security, promoting growing and eating local, and of course trying to combat NCDs or non-communicable diseases. It was spearheaded by Dr. Carissa Webster Lake, and it was indeed a wonderful event. And so I would have been down there from Friday the 14th to the 16th. On Friday, I would have been on done a radio interview, and I got in there. I would have promoted what we're doing here on the island of Nevis in terms of our Agri Expo, our 30th edition for next year. I would have promoted Culturama as well. And then I would have paid courtesy call on the Premier, the Honorable Cora Richardson Hodge, as well as the Minister with responsibility for agriculture, Kyle Hodge and Cordero Richardson. And of course, on that same day, on the Friday, there was a wellness seminar. On the Saturday morning at 5:30, there was a wellness walk called Walk with a Doc. And on the afternoon, there was something called Conversations in the Park, where they were focusing on persons who have diabetes and sharing their experiences. And then on Sunday, the 16th, was actually the main event, and that was a 10-course tasting experience. And of course, the focus again was on local. So they were focusing on locally caught fish. They had local swordfish, local mahi-mahi. They had local goat meat, local pork, local chicken, locally produced vegetables and fruits and so on. And so everything was about eating local and trying to be as healthy as possible. They were featuring some chefs, and of course I was happy to be there and part of that event. It was a ticketed event targeting 130 persons, and so the department and the Ministry of Agriculture here on the island of Nevis, we were asked to donate 130 fruit trees, which we did, which we committed to donating. And so I went to Anguilla. I was invited there, and so I was there to officially hand over the 130 fruit trees. And I can tell you that those fruit trees brought some smiles to the faces of all those persons who attended the event. We were delighted as a department and as a ministry to partner with Hook and Harvest to give those fruit trees, and the fruit trees included sugar apple, Taiwanese sugar apple, custard apple, soursop, cherry. What else did we have there? We had passion fruit, and so people were very, very happy to at least get some fruit trees. Down in Anguilla, there's not a lot of agriculture. There's not a lot of fruit trees, and so we were happy as a department and as a ministry to support it. And of course, that event on Sunday was a wonderful event. As I said, it was a 10-course tasting event focusing strictly on local products. And so I want to say kudos to the organizer, Dr. Carissa Webster Lake, to Mr. Ivan Connor, who was the man behind the scenes there as well, and all who were part of making that event possible. Of course, also attending the event with me were persons from the Nevis Tourism Authority. We had the CEO, Miss Andy Ravarea. We had Fiona Jones, and we had Shalisa Glassford, and we also had one of our Mango Festival chefs, Miss Aliyah Keynes. And so we want to thank them for asking us to be their partner, and that event went extremely well. I must say as well that during that same weekend, I have to say kudos and congrats as well to the Honeybee String Band. The Honeybee String Band traveled to the British Virgin Islands on that same weekend, the weekend of the 14th to the 16th, and they, I understand, were a hit. Of course, wherever the Honeybee String Band go, they are a hit. I was supposed to travel with the band, but I had to go to this other event. So unfortunately, I was not able to travel with the band, but I understand that they, of course, they represented well. I understand that they played in Tortola, they played in Virgin Gorda, they played in Just Van Dyke, and from all reports, they represented themselves well, they represented the band well, they represented Nevis well, and I know that persons, especially Nevisians living in Tortola, including living in the British Virgin Islands, including my brother Keith and his wife, they were able to see them when they went to Virgin Gorda. And so guys from the Honeybee String Band, I'm sorry that I couldn't make this one with you guys, but I know that you all did well, so kudos, congratulations. You all continue to do Nevis proud, continue to keep the culture alive. And I said I understand that the people in the British Virgin Islands were in love with the string band, and so kudos and congratulations to all of you for doing an amazing job down there in the British Virgin Islands. And I said, I'm sorry I couldn't make it, but I know that you all represented well. Of course, this is graduation season. Congratulations to those who graduated from the Charlestown Secondary School, from the Sixth Form College yesterday, and those who will be graduating from the Gingerland Secondary School, my alma mater, tomorrow. That will be taking place at the Gingerland Methodist Church tomorrow at 9 o'clock. I'll be there. And so congratulations in advance to those folks who will be graduating tomorrow. And of course, we also want to say congratulations to the Bank of Nevis. They're celebrating 40 years. And I also want to say, before I get to my guest, because my other guest is also rearing and ready to go as well. And so before I get to my other guest as well, I want to just say congratulations to we had some folks who were awarded this past Saturday at the Malcolm Gishard Recreational Park. And if I can get my little booklet here, we had 18 gentlemen from St. Kitts and Nevis who were awarded, and so I want to say congratulations to them. And if I could just read the names of the persons who were awarded on Saturday evening. This was for International Men's Month. And from the list of awardees for Nevis were Reverend Ron Daniel, Community Activism, Mr. Delison Roper, Education, Jacob Ngumba, Human Services, DeJono Liebert, Law and Security, Gavin Patterson, Creative Economy, Rodel Rollins, Culinary Arts, Earl Freeman, Climate Friendly Small Business, and we had Mr. Keith Atherton, who received the Premier's Award, and Mr. Franklin Brown, who received, and of course, there are a lot of Franklin Browns on Nevis, but this is Franklin Brown from Hanley's Road. He received the Legacy Award. And the awardees from St. Kitts were Mr. James Pemberton Jr., Community Activism, Gerald Kelvis Connor, Human Services, Cromwell Henry, Law and Order, Wingrove Hicks Williams, Creative Economy, Peter Marshall, Culinary Arts, Keith Lee Armstrong, Climate Friendly Small Business, Mr. Lincoln Darren Connor, or Pastor Lincoln Darren Connor, Religion, and the Prime Minister's Award went to Mr. Ralston R.N. Morton, and the Legacy Award went to Mr. Sylvester Brown. And so normally when persons shine, we like to highlight them, and we say heartiest congratulations to those persons who received awards in the Men's Month Award ceremony that took place at the Malcolm Gishard Park on Saturday. And of course as well, I absolutely must say congratulations to the 25 most remarkable teens. That took place last week, Thursday, at the Assembly, the National Assembly in St. Kitts. And I want to name all of the honorees because I think they deserve that honor to be named here on the mark. When our young people shine, we need to put them in the spotlight, because when they do things bad, they're in the spotlight, and so when they shine, we need to highlight them as well. And so the honorees were Kayla Penny for Courage to Overcome and Spiritual Commitment, Cameron Ordain, Academics, Most Promising, Ashanti Dorset, Culinary Art and Most Promising, Agape Daniel, Performing Arts and Spiritual Commitment, Nikia Doylin, Courage to Overcome, Inia Walwin, Academics and Dance, Tamia Lopez, Academics and Spiritual Hope, Nyla Taylor from Nevis, Technology, Jonesh Rogers, Passion and Resilience, Mary Ann Shelford, Scholar Leader and STEAM, Jadon Herbert, Scholar Athlete, and I have to pause here. Jadon is my godson, and he is the epitome of resilience, and so cool, so calm. I'm so proud of you, godson. Keep the light burning. I know that you have gone through so much in your short life, and I just want to say congratulations to you. That's Jordan Herbert, Scholar Athlete. We also have Natalie Henry, Academics, Ajorni Hodge, also from Nevis, Academics and Youth Activism, Tikwan James, Youth Activism, Jack Corey Isaac, also from Nevis, Art and Creativity, Camille Hewlett Hobson, Most Promising and Scholar and School Pride, Remiel Thompson, Spirit of Hope and Youth Activism, Jaden Liebert from Nevis as well, Scholar Athlete, Shikalia Tatum Fifield, Academics and Courage to Overcome, Avani Wyatt, Volunteerism and Performing Arts, Nigel Miller, Courage to Overcome, Devonje Stokes, Leadership, and Malin Liebert Cranston, Malin Liebert Cranston, Most Promising and Scholar Athlete. So heartiest congratulations to the 25 most remarkable teens who received their awards from parliamentarians this past Thursday. And of course, as I indicated, my guest is here. I'm sure she would want to say congratulations to them as well. And so I'm going to ask my next guest. We've just heard from Juliet Jeffers and Pamela Martin, and so my next guest is in. She is in the house, and I want to say special good evening and special welcome to her as well. Is this your? I'll let her introduce herself. Introduce yourself, guest.
Good night.
Go ahead,
everyone. I am Latoya Jones, Special Advisor to the Premier on Community Matters. I am also Senator and Deputy Speaker in the National Assembly of St. Kitts and Nevis. I am Chairperson of the Concerned Citizens Movement, and I am also a candidate for Nevis 5 in the local elections.
So it is the Honorable Latoya Jones, and this is probably the night for beautiful ladies to grace our presence here on the Mark. We just had two beautiful ladies, and now we have another extra beautiful lady in the house, in the Honorable Latoya Jones. Honorable Latoya Jones, is this your first time on the Mark?
No, it's not my
Okay.
first time.
All right.
I think it's long overdue.
It is.
But I'm happy to be here
Mm-hmm.
with you on the Mark.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say good night to all those who are listening, whether you're in St. Kitts Nevis or overseas. I know this is a very powerful radio station,
Indeed.
Born Radio, and On the Mark is definitely a popular show. So I'm happy to be
It
here
is the
with
most.
you
It is
tonight.
the most popular.
Most popular.
Yes, and Von Radio is the most popular radio station as well. We are the Eastern Caribbean's powerhouse where only the best will do.
Certainly.
Right? Latoya, before we get into what we're going to be speaking about, I'm sure you want to also congratulate the 25 most remarkable teens, because I saw how you were beaming with pride there as well on Thursday evening.
Anything to uplift and recognize our young people for the achievement, I am 100% in. And some of them, I've known them since they were small. I mean, it may sound like I'm old,
You're not old.
but I'm not. So when you see them as, young individuals, and you're looking at them growing into amazing teenagers who are making themselves, their family, and our community proud, I can't help but feel a sense of happiness. And I want to congratulate the 25 awardees for the most remarkable teens. I did so at the National Assembly sit-in. I did so on social media, and I'm doing so again tonight. I also want to congratulate the graduates of the Charlestown Secondary School and the Nevis Sixth Form College. And I too would be attending the graduation ceremony tomorrow at the Gingerland Secondary School. So congratulations to all.
And of course, Latoya, as you speak about young people, and I see, as I said, when you speak about young people, I can see the pride. And of course, we are all of us want to see our young people do well, and we're always very proud of them when they shine. And as I said, when they do good things, we ought to put them in the spotlight. And as you spoke there, and you were speaking about the 25 most remarkable teens, it brought me back to what you yourself have been doing in terms of uplifting young people, because I know over the years you have been doing something in the St. Thomas's Parish area with young people. Tell us, what have you been doing with regards to young people over there?
Honestly, I do so many projects. I have to think about it, but I'm always happy.
I know you have an
to
award
work
ceremony. That is what I'm specifically
I'll get
speaking
to
about.
that. But
Right.
recently, this year I think it's in August,
Yes.
I had a resume writing and interview skills training workshop
Okay, good.
for the youth of St. Thomas Parish. We had 11 participants. The facilitator was communication specialist Miss Patrice Harris and her team. And I must say it was very engaging. And I want to thank all the participants who showed up and who engaged. Because sometimes you have participants who show up, but I don't know if it's because they're shy, but they don't really engage and participate. But it was completely different for this session. They were very interactive, and we had a lot of practical exercises. So some of them, they had their resume, so we were able to update their existing resume. And some of the participants, they did not have a resume, but they left with a resume. And they were also able to learn interview skills, training, techniques that would help them when they go for job interviews and so forth. So all in all, that was a good initiative, and I'm very proud of that, and I'm looking to continue because persons have reached out, more have reached out and asked for another session as it relates to the resume writing.
You
and
know,
interview
as you
skills
speak
training.
about that, you know, I think people underestimate how important it is to, in terms of those interview skills and resume writing and so on, because, you know, sometimes persons that they're showing up for an interview, they don't know, well, how should I dress? How should I speak? How should I sit? how should I look at the person, and that sort of thing. And
Yes.
it is very important at that age when they're leaving school that they're getting that little bit of grounding, because an interview can make or break you.
It is true.
Because a lot of the time, sometimes persons, they may be good for the job, but they were terrible in the interview.
Yes.
And so it is important, and I'm happy that you would have done something like that, and I'm sure that they would have been very grateful for that as
We
well.
asked them to wear professional attire,
Good.
and during this session, we had like, mock interviews, so they were able to interview each other, and we were there overseeing and critiquing, of course, what they were doing. So I think all in all, it was a good learning experience, not just for them, but also for me, because you're not too old to learn.
Precisely.
And so I try to take in the sessions as well. Even though I'm organizing them, it's not me organizing and just disappearing. It's me being there
Right.
while it's happening for the entire duration and participating in the workshop.
Great.
I do learn as well.
Good. So tell us some more the things you've been doing with the young people.
Young people, okay, I know during Easter, because I like to build community spirit.
Yes.
And during Easter, I know youth look forward to receiving kites. And I've been doing kite distribution project, I think, from around 2021. All my projects, I try my best to continue on an annual basis. So it's not just doing it and stopping, and there's no continuity. For me, building community spirit takes continuity. And so most of my projects, I really try to do them on an annual basis. This year, I was able to distribute 83 kites in St. Thomas. I think overall, I've distributed over 200 kites.
Nice.
And so I'm looking forward to next year, where I continue to go door to door and distribute kites to our children. I mean, it's more than just, giving them a gift. It's really interacting with them, finding out how they're doing, their family's doing. Sometimes you never know what people are going through. And so whenever you could touch base, it is always good to do so. And so I'm happy that I'm able to make a difference in the life of our children and their families in whatever way that I can. So I've done that as well.
Good.
And then we come to St. Thomas Parish Youth Excellence Awards. That too has been ongoing for several years. I will be hosting the 5th annual St. Thomas Parish Youth Excellence Awards in December,
Okay.
ending of December. We have...
This year?
Yes, this year.
Yeah.
Yes,
Wow.
yes.
I thought it's normally earlier in the year.
It's usually around, usually earlier, sometimes around October.
Okay.
But sometimes schedule,
Right.
things happen,
Yes.
and so you have to adjust accordingly. Nonetheless, we are planning to have the St. Thomas Parish Youth Excellence Award. So we recognize youth in St. Thomas for their achievement and their sterling contribution to our community. We have recognized individuals in art, sports, education, agriculture, you name it. We are here to build our young people. Oftentimes, we hear or we want to talk negativity
Yes.
about our young people.
Right.
So I believe when they do well, we should recognize them, we should praise them, and we should empower them. That's how you empower people sometimes. And for me, when I see the smiles on your faces, I'm pleased and I'm happy. So I will continue to do this each year. So usually we would ask each awardee for their biography, and I will share it throughout social media, be it with images in their respective fields or videos, and I would ask the general public to congratulate them as well. And then we would have an awards ceremony and dinner, which I invite the ministers of government to come and celebrate the awardees of the St. Thomas Parish Youth Excellence Awards. Their families and friends are also present. And you've
Yes,
been
of
there.
course, of course I've been
That
there.
It has
Yeah.
been very good. The last year we were at Malcolm Gishard Recreational Park. So I'm looking forward to being there again this year.
And it's normally a very nice, classy event, different, of course, as you said, focusing on the young people. And these kind of initiatives can actually inspire our young people, in terms of going on the right track, because we know that our young people nowadays, there are so many distractions. They can get distracted so very easily, and we have to try hard as possible to try to keep them on the right track. And I'm sure those who would have received awards in the past would have been very proud of their awards as well.
Yes, definitely. For me, it's just being present and trying to make a difference in their lives. And so I continue to create many initiatives surrounding our youth, and I continue to be involved, whether it's by visiting the school, visiting sporting events. And on that note, I would like to congratulate the St. Thomas Primary School for winning the football championship.
You win me. I'm not happy, but congratulations.
I wasn't in attendance, and I extend my apologies, but I've congratulated the team. I'm always supportive of my Jaguars.
Of course.
That's my alma mater, and I do anything and everything to support the St. Thomas Primary School.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Great. So you seem as though you've been very busy with the young people in St. Thomas's Parish, and I'm very, very happy for that. I'm sure the young people are very appreciative of that as well. So tell us some more of what you've been doing in the St. Thomas's Parish. Before you go there, though, tell us a little bit, what has been your experience like being the Deputy Speaker in the National Assembly?
Being a Deputy Speaker has been good. I have a good relationship with the Speaker and the Clerk and the Deputy Clerk. It's been a good experience.
And all of the parliamentarians, because I see how
parliamentarians.
you interact with them, you see how you communicate with them, and I can see you have an excellent relationship with
I do have an
all
excellent
of the
relationship
persons in the assembly.
with all the parliamentarians. And, there are times when, as parliamentarians, we get passionate. I will
Yes.
put it that way. And
And there's nothing wrong with
and-
getting passionate.
Exactly. But it is my duty to keep order.
Yes.
And so I will keep order, no matter which side of the assembly
And I've
you're
seen you at
sitting on.
work.
Definitely.
I've seen you at work. You do a fantastic job. And because, as I said, there's nothing wrong with getting passionate, but people must remain respectful as well.
Definitely.
And I always say, politicians should always remain respectful and respect the precincts of the House.
Definitely.
So you have that job to ensure that they do that.
Yes.
And I think that both you and the Speaker have been ensuring that persons and the parliamentarians do what they need to do, and they do it within the rules of the House.
Yes.
Good. All right, so let's talk about some of the other things that you've been doing in St. Thomas's Parish.
Okay. I'm going to begin with road infrastructure. I realize that has been the topic because we recently started road infrastructure in Barnscott. Everyone who knows me knows that I am from Barnscott. I live in Barnscott. I was raised in Barnscott. And so we started what we call the backway road, which leads from, it's just above the road above the community center, and it goes around to the water dam. So we are currently constructing a new road there. At this time, I would like to thank Honorable Spencer Brand and the hard-working team at Public Works for their continuous effort in ensuring that we have good roads. Sometimes I don't think or our people recognize that we have good roads.
We have excellent
And
roads,
when
not
we
good
travel,
roads.
Okay, corrected. Excellent roads.
Yes, compared to what we see in many of the other Caribbean islands.
Excellent roads.
Because I, as you rightly said, people take things for granted. And every time I travel to the rest of the Caribbean islands and I see sometimes the state of the roads in some of those islands, and I see what the condition of the roads are here on the island of Nevis, it's chalk and cheese. There's absolutely no comparison. And people really need to appreciate that this Nevis Island administration has done an extraordinary job in giving good roads to our people, and the road network is fantastic throughout the entire island. The island main road, and in terms of the village roads and so on. And so you're right, people need to appreciate what we have, and I can say that our roads on Nevis are second to none in the Caribbean. Second to none. Yes.
And we have to recognize the team that do the work. The team at Public Works They work very hard. And I want to commend them and I want to thank them for walking through with me on the project, for explaining certain things to me, because this is not my area of
Yes.
expertise. But they were very helpful, and I want to thank everyone who have been a part of the project in Banscott thus far. From Banscott, the intention is to move on to Clifton Estate, and then we will journey to Jessops. That's the road above the Jessops Community Center, leading to the Church of God of Prophecy. I recognize some would say that is long overdue. However, we are coming. And for me, the important thing is we are working to get these roads improved. So for me, I don't focus on the past, I look towards the future. So St. Thomas Parish, road infrastructure is coming.
And the thing is too, Latoya, what all of us need to recognize is that yes, everybody wants their roads done, and everybody wants their roads done now. But it is impossible based on the fact that we have limited resources financially. We have limited human resources as well. And of course, we have to share. And wherever you are and you're crying out for roads, we will eventually get to you. But we're asking persons, as we often do, to try and have a little patience. Please have a little patience, because I know there are some persons who have been waiting for roads for a long time. Some have gotten their roads quicker than others.
And some are waiting in Gingerland.
Yes, and but the thing is, we will get to you. We will get to you. I know normally when we go around, when we do our visitations and so on, one of the main things people ask for is roads. You know, and so we will get to you, because I mean the thing is, people in Nevis have gotten so accustomed to good roads now that even if they have a road in the area and it's not that bad, they want a new road. And as I want to join with you in commending the Public Works Department. They've been doing an excellent job in the road network. Of course, we know that over the past months, Latoya, we've been getting a lot of rain, but our roads are standing up.
Yes.
Our roads are standing up, and it shows the quality of the work that is being done by the Public Works Department. So, Minister Brand, kudos to you and your team at Public Works for doing a great job. Yes,
Definitely. And I also want to mention, I think it was 2 years ago, we did the Banjo Road, what we call the Banjo Road in
Good.
Cahoons, and the residents are still very happy about their road. So I want to continue to commend the team at Public Works for a job well done.
Great, good.
Yes.
And so you've been looking after the young people. You've been trying your utmost to look after the roads. And at times you have gotten frustrated. You're saying that they're not coming to St. Thomas quick enough. They're not coming to St. Thomas's fast enough. And I know that you've been really out there.
I've been advocating.
Yes, you've been advocating
Yes.
very, very, very hard.
Very.
So I can let the people of St. Thomas's know that,
Please.
listen, you have someone here who is looking out for your best interest at all times, because I know how passionate she is about St. Thomas's, and know how passionate she is about ensuring that things get done in the area. And I know in the past people have been saying that, oh, the government have neglected St. Thomas's.
Yes.
Nothing tal go so. Right, Latoya? Nothing tal go so.
We are working to build in St. Thomas Parish and Nevis, brick by brick, as we usually say.
Most certainly.
And I will definitely continue to advocate. And as I often say, hold my colleagues' feet to the fire to get things done in St. Thomas Parish.
Yes.
So with that, I'll continue with an upcoming project, white goods cleanup. So I started white goods cleanup back in 2021. Last year, I decided to do it during the Christmas holidays, and I will be doing so again this year. So on Saturday, 6th December, from 7 to about 2 p.m., I will be having my Christmas cleanup. We will be placing bins, garbage bins, in Westbury at the Alpha and Omega Church, in Cotton Ground at the Cotton Ground Community Center, Banscott Community Center, Jessops Community Center, And at the Barry's residence, they're in Lower Croddick Road. So the bins will be placed there. Residents are asked to take their garbage to the bins. If you need assistance, transportation, please do not hesitate to contact me at 663-7442 or 662-8329. So we usually go around with a truck, and yes, I am very much involved. I would lift items. I try not to do extra heavy, but sometimes I feel like I'm Hulk. But last year was a massive undertaking. I think we went beyond 2 p.m. But I want to thank the residents for participating in the initiative. It is free of cost, because residents would ask. It is free of cost. So I'm asking you,
It is
please.
free of cost to the residents.
Free of cost to the residents.
Right. But
It's
we have to pay for
yes,
it.
definitely. It's free of cost to you, so I'm really asking that you take advantage of this opportunity. Let us keep our environment clean. Clean environment promotes good health, and health for me is wealth. So let's continue to work towards keeping our environment clean. So that is an upcoming initiative.
I have to commend you. I have to chime in here with the white goods cleanup, because this is something that I would have started in my constituency about 5 years ago as well, and people actually look forward to it. And as you would have indicated, it's free to the persons who take advantage, but it's not free to us. It's a very costly venture. I have to admit, it is a very, very costly adventure. That is something that I do in my constituency annually around March, April every year, and it's the expenses borne by me, by your area representative, but we want to do it for you, because as you rightly indicated, Latoya, we absolutely must continue to keep Nevis clean, and persons have to dispose of their white goods properly. We don't want people dumping them. The reason why we have I think most of us in all of the constituencies, we
Yes,
normally
all.
organize
A
white goods cleanup
Yes.
every year.
Yes.
Right? And it is very, very important, because what we have been realizing over the years is that persons have been doing what we call indiscriminate dumping. They're taking their white goods and dumping them in the guts, dumping them close to the ocean, dumping them to the side of the road, and that is not good at all. And so we want to continue to encourage people to desist from these activities. We want persons, the landfill is there, and it is even if we are not doing the white goods cleanup and you have to take your stuff to the landfill, it's not very expensive. It's not very expensive at all. And we're also appealing to the truck drivers, because sometimes persons pay you. They give you the white goods or any other material to take to the dump, to the landfill, and you dump it somewhere else when you would have collected the money. And please, we're asking you, stop. It is terrible. A lot of these things that you dump in the waterways and the guts, they end up in the ocean. Our
Yes, it's not a good
fish,
practice.
our fish and marine species, they feed on them, and then we eat them, and then we don't know what's going to be happening to us. So, Latoya, congratulations and commendation to you for doing that white goods cleanup as well.
Thank you. I know before we were talking about youth, and I started to list some projects, but
Yes.
I'm not certain if I listed the financial management
No,
workshop.
you didn't.
And I know,
I know that is normally one of the big things that you normally do on an annual basis as well.
yes, the financial management workshop. I think it is important that we educate our youth on their finance. Sometimes as young people, we get caught up. I mean, I'm young, and it's from experience as well. And we don't plan. We don't properly manage our resources. We don't diversify our resources. We don't plan for future. And so the financial management gave our youth the opportunity to do so, to plan, to manage, to diversify their resources. So we usually cover budgeting, savings, wealth generation, those aspects of finance. And we invite professionals, persons who are very knowledgeable in the field, and I must say they've been coming for free of course, to facilitate the financial management workshop. And I want to thank them from the bottom of my heart for passing on the knowledge to our young people, because that is important.
Very.
Passing on the information is certainly important. I think I want to recognize them. I know Mr. Laurie Lawrence. He's a former
He's a
PS.
veteran.
Yes, we know that in finance. Miss Sybil Welch from ECCB. There was also Mr. Calvin Duggins. He too worked at ECCB, the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank. And Miss Catherine Forbes. She was once, I think, manager of CEDU. They have been facilitators for the respective financial management workshop, and I'd like to take this opportunity to thank them for sharing their knowledge and expertise with our youth. So like I said, the workshop targets youth 18 to 35 years. We cover budgeting, savings, wealth generation, investment, etc. And we have been doing that over a period of time. We did it this year, so it's been done for a number of years.
And I've been there a few times as well at the opening, and I must say how impressed I normally am with the workshop as well. You normally have a good turnout, you normally have a good cross section, and as you rightly indicated, budgeting and financial management, very, very important. A lot of the times people they get their financial resources, and many of the times they don't know how to utilize them. You know, they probably utilize it the wrong way, and it is important that we try to give guide our young people in terms of how to manage their money, because a lot of the times people have the money, and because they don't manage the money well, they end up being either broke or something. And in terms of prioritizing what you need to get in terms of spending your money, that is very, very important as well. I know Christmas is coming up now, and I know at Christmas time sometimes people don't prioritize. You know, they just spend while.
Yeah. And we have to be, careful of all these Christmas loans and all these Christmas specials that are being offered. Don't overdo it.
Precisely.
That is my what I'm encouraging persons to do. I think there is a limit, and that is what I'm trying to get young persons to understand. Don't be reckless with your spending.
Right.
We also do, because we do debt management and retirement planning too.
Right.
Because I know some of us think we're going to be young forever, and that is not the case. When I look in the mirror and I say to myself, I'm 34 already. I'm going to be 50 soon. And so you have to put things in place for when you retire.
Yeah, of course.
I remember during the session, we had a session with businesses as well, and we partnered with CEDU. And during one of the financial management workshops, we invited Inland Revenue to come and have a discussion on businesses. And a lot of them were youth, paying their taxes and doing so on time and responsibly. We had a staff from the work permit department who came and spoke about payment of work permit fees for persons who are non-nationals and are working at businesses. And we had Social Security, and I'm encouraging persons to pay Social Security.
Oh yes,
it
definitely.
is important that you do. Some of us may look and say, oh, they're just taking my money. But when you get older, it is definitely beneficial to you, not only when you get older, when you get sick. So I'm encouraging persons to pay your Social Security, pay your taxes, and pay your fees. Be responsible.
Do you know how excited I see some people are when they almost 62? I'm serious. Some people are so excited. I'm going to be 62
I think
soon.
I need to look forward to it then.
Some people are very excited because they know they're going to be getting something. And of course, the money that they would have put aside and they would have paid to Social Security over the years, it's coming back to them. And as I said, some people, it's like a celebration when they hit 62. They're very, very, very excited and very happy You know, so I must agree with you where that is concerned. Do what you have to do. Pay your taxes, pay your social security. Don't be reckless, as you rightly indicated. I mean, a lot of that, like in December, every December. I mean, no disrespect to the financial institutions,
no.
but you know, they have some very enticing loans every December. There's nothing wrong with taking the loan, but make sure you can pay it back.
Pay it back.
Make sure, don't let the bank have to come to repossess anything that you have, right? And I think it is important that you get that grounding in the young people as well.
I agree. I agree. So that's the financial management workshop, and we've hosted the youth summit, the Nevis Island Youth Summit.
Yes.
Initially, it started as a youth forum where we met with group leaders, whether church, sports, dance, you name it. I think it was 37 leaders at that time. And our youth were able to engage ministers of the CCM-led Nevis Island administration. They asked whatever question they desired to ask, and they discussed topical events or any issues that they were facing, and the ministers were there to respond to them. And so for me, to create that environment and to provide our youth with that opportunity to engage our leaders is very important, because they don't get to engage face to face on a regular. And so to create an initiative that allows our youth to do so, I think that is good on our part, on our administration's end. So I want to commend you and the ministers for showing up each year.
We always do. Once
the
you
youth
call them, we
summit.
will do that.
Yes, we didn't have any this year because we're planning a big rally next year. And so I look forward to sharing the details about that next year. But each year we try to evolve.
Fantastic.
We try to make the initiative bigger and better. So we went for a meeting with the group leaders, then we met with youth 16 to 29 years from the various high schools in Nevis, Charleston Secondary School, Gingerland Secondary School, Nevis International Secondary School. And we had, I think it was 80 participants, and then 85 last year. So the year before was 80, then 85. So we've been increasing the numbers. And we look forward to each year engaging our youth on different topics. In 2023, we discussed the SDGs, Sustainable Development Goals.
Yes.
And then last year, we did citizen security, crime and violence, and climate change. And I know the children were eager to present on various topics to the ministers. So during the youth summit, there's a discussion with our youth and our ministers. And I know last youth summit, they did presentations, and they were able to share those presentations with our leaders, and our leaders were able to provide feedback. So I think that
Good.
was
Fantastic. Listeners, we have just another 28 minutes to go on the show. You're listening to the On The Mark program, of course. I have my guest right now is the Honorable Latoya Jones. In case you want to call in and give her an encouraging word, ask her a question, you can call in and do so. Our lines will be open, 869-469-1616, 1700. Me and Latoya will continue to talk, but in case you want to call in and chime in quickly, we will welcome you to do so. Our lines are open, 869-469-1616, 1700. Latoya, let's get back to what you have been discussing in terms of what you have been doing with young people and what you've been doing in the St. Thomas's Parish in general.
Okay, so because I'm special advisor on community matters, I organize initiatives for the government, and then I have my separate initiatives as a politician.
Right.
So I'm just trying to cover as many as I can, because there's a lot of projects to remember, a lot of details to remember, so please bear with me. Beside youth, I am very vocal and big on women empowerment. And I think the Women's Self-Empowerment Workshop, if I am not mistaken, was one of the first initiatives that I did. I think started in 2021. And the idea behind the initiative was to bring women of different background, different career fields together to address issues and concerns that women face, to share practical solutions in dealing with these issues, and for women to share their experiences to empower each other. Some may say that it sounds simple, but it is a great deal, because oftentimes, whether we want to believe it or not, there are persons in our society who sometimes feel that they're left out and they're not given an opportunity to participate in workshops. I remember when I was younger, before getting into politics and working as a senior government official, I used to attend workshops. And after a while, I wasn't excited to go, and I will explain why. Because whenever I attended a workshop, in my mind, I was expecting to see different faces. And sometimes I felt like I was seeing the same people over and over again. I'm not completely knocking it. I am just saying that the workshops that I am organizing, it surrounds everyone. It doesn't matter your position, your social strata, it doesn't matter. I invite you to attend, to participate in the workshop. And I say that because I remember there was a particular young lady who I invited. And when I contacted her and said, I'm inviting you to the Women's Self-Empowerment Workshop to participate, she said to me, you sure you have the right person? And honestly, I was like, isn't your name so-and-so? And she was like, yes, but you sure you have the right person?
Okay.
And honestly, I felt it.
Let's take a pin there. We have a call on that. Okay, caller left. Okay. Caller, you can call back. It's 869-469-1616, 869-469-1700. Yes, go ahead, Latoya.
I felt it, and I think she went on to mention, but I don't wear stockings and heels.
Oh, Lord.
And I was like, darling, you don't have to wear stockings and heels to attend a workshop.
Everybody's equal.
We are all equal.
Of course.
And we are all going to attend the workshop, and we're all going to share our experiences. And I don't want you to be shy in sharing your experience. And she came, and she had a wonderful time at the workshop. So it's providing opportunities for everyone, despite your occupation, despite where you grew up.
And I think what you're doing there, in what you're saying there, it is what actually our party represents.
Yes.
All inclusive.
Yes, definitely.
We don't leave anyone out.
No.
We are about looking out for the interests of everybody.
People
matter most.
All the time.
You know? And so, I mean, what you're saying there, I mean, correlates beautifully with exactly what the mission and the mantra of our party is. We are all inclusively include everyone. We don't leave anyone out. No matter what we do in terms of our activities, we try as much as possible to make people feel welcomed and, of course, to involve everyone.
We've had about 139 women participating in this workshop.
We have a call online. Good evening, caller. You're live and on the mark. Hello. Good evening.
Good night, Honorable.
Good night. How you doing, man?
Not too bad. Glad to hear you have your honorable guest with you.
Yes.
Laying out all the things that she doing.
Yes.
She waiting for election time come where most politicians do gimmick.
Well, listen, politicians in our party don't do gimmick, okay? I'm letting you know that, right? Okay?
It's so nice to hear, but Eric, what I had want to call in earlier when you had the lady with the film.
With the play, okay.
The film production, because I have a granddaughter who went to college and was interested in being in film. And because I want to ask her some questions, and my granddaughter here in the BVI, she was interested, but as you let her go and all.
My humble apology. My humble apology. All right?
Yeah.
But you know, if you, and I'm sure you normally have contact with the premier. I believe you have my number as well, so you can always contact me or the premier, and we can put you in contact with Miss Jeffers.
And I missed you from being down here in Saratoga.
My apology. I had to go elsewhere. I really wanted to come, but so how did you guys perform?
Listen, everything went on good, man, and the honeybees really represent Nevis, even to the little youth man, 15 years guy. When he started to play the flute, listen, the people them didn't want to come and have the stage.
Okay, nice.
They didn't want to come. No, but my thing is, well, if you could help those guys to organize something like that in Nevis, I think it will do good. Do an exchange, you know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
Look, get a special data month and organize something, help the guys them organize something like, because I know you will get supported across from St. And it will be a good turnout because those guys really jam. They play good in Just Van Dyke,
yes,
and in Tatola and Wadangara.
Okay.
And they was with me during the day driving about.
Okay, great.
Getting them business done. But I think they want to sit down with you and organize something like that, cultural, have a punji night, a string band night, and I think you will organize that with them.
Thank you.
You know, but I said, let me call. I glad to open the line because I said, look at you want to open the line.
Well, I'm happy I opened the line so you get an opportunity to call in. All right.
Yes, but I have to really pick up the guys there, man, because from in Barbados, they do a great job.
Thank you.
Antigua, wherever they go.
Of course.
You always really represent me.
Thank you so much, sir.
And I have to say good night to you again.
Thank you.
All right, I'll be listening. Thank you.
Have a good night, sir. Thank you very much. That's one of our good friends there from the BVI from Tortola. He always calls in to the show to make his contribution. We want to thank you very much for calling in and making your contribution as well. And we're happy that you were there to support the Honeybee String Band when they were there in the BVI during that weekend, November the 14th to the 16th. So thank you very much, caller. Our lines are still open. We just have another 17 minutes. Time is running very quickly. We just have another 17 more minutes to go, and my guest is the Honorable Latoya Jones, and it's just another 17 minutes to go. So if you want to call in quickly and make a contribution, our lines are open, 869-469-1616-1700. Back to you, Latoya.
Yes, so we were discussing the Women's Self-Employment Workshop. So this year, compared to previous years, we included girls this year. So we were able to invite youth from the respective high schools on the island to the workshop, and we paired them with adults in different careers.
Good.
What we did was establish a mentorship program, and I think it is important that we continue to reach our youth and to follow up with them, maybe not on a daily basis, but to stay in touch, to find out how it is they're doing in school, if they need assistance with homework. They're going out into the working world soon. Do they need assistance in finding a job?
And sometimes they need some guidance. Sometimes they don't want to accept the fact that they need the guidance, but sometimes they do need the guidance.
We do need the guidance, and they've accepted the guidance.
We have another call online. Stick a pin here. Good evening, caller. You're live and on the mark.
Hey, good night.
Good night. What's up?
What's up? You're not listening about me.
You're not listening.
Somebody teach me radio.
Oh, Lord of mercy. All right. Try to get another one.
I'll show something.
All right. Take it easy. Have a good night, okay?
Yeah, man, all the time.
Take care. All the best. All right. Sorry about that. I'll tell you, let's get back to what you were saying now.
Okay.
Yeah. Our good friend Poochie there. Poochie, have a good night to you.
I recognize his voice.
Yes.
His voice
Yes.
sounds familiar.
My old classmate, Poochie.
But I want to thank the facilitators. Dr. Linda Carty, Dr. Curtis Clark, and there were also two others. Let me pull that up. Stacy Paris also did a session, and Shanika Jeffers. So these are facilitators over the years. This year was Dr. Curtis Clark and her team, Shanika Jeffers, and there was also Miss Stacy Paris. So I want to thank them for coming and sharing their knowledge with the women and girls. We certainly had a fruitful and engaging workshop.
So, Latoya, you have been very busy.
Very busy, and I'm trying to remember everything. I know I'm young. Well, I'm young, and I'm supposed to remember as much as I can. But with
you're doing well.
But
You're
with
doing
all
well.
these activities that I've done, because I've done so much more, and that I'm planning to do, it's just a lot on my mind.
Right.
And so I try my best to remember as much as I can.
And of course, it's coming up to that very busy time when you'll have a lot of work to do in the Parliament in St. Kitts as well. So we need to start focusing on that as well.
Yes.
'Cause, you know, that is going to be a very,
Budget
very
presentation.
Yeah, that's going to be a
Yes.
very difficult time for you
Definitely.
and for all of us as parliamentarians. So we have to
Yes.
look forward to that as well.
Because we have to prepare for a presentation, and then I will still sit in the chair at some point in time to support the speaker, and I'm always happy to do so.
Of course.
So we do have a busy schedule for the season.
Indeed.
Yes.
But as I say, I have to commend you, Latoya, because you have been a bright spark in the St. Thomas's parish over the past couple of years. You have really been trying your utmost to ensure that you look out for the parish. You try to ensure that you get things done for the parish. I know that you have been really pushing very hard. I don't know, when we have meetings and so on, you say, I want this done, I want that done. And
Need it.
Yeah,
I
and
need it for St. Thomas.
and of course, I mean, the Nevis Island administration has been responding as
Yes,
well.
definitely.
And that is the most important thing,
Yes.
because we don't want to say, well, no one can say that St. Thomas's is left out in the cold. That is definitely not the case. And so I want to commend you on all the excellent work that you've been doing. We have a caller line. Good evening, caller. You're live on the mark. Good evening, caller. Hello? Hello? All right, caller, could you call back, please? Our numbers are 869-469-1616 or 1700. Time is actually running out. We have just about another 13 more minutes to go on the show this evening. Of course, this has been a wonderful night so far. We've had two guests earlier. We had Juliet Jeffers and Pamela Martin, and now we have in our company the Honorable Latoya Jones, who is the Deputy Speaker of the National Assembly. And of course, she has been working very hard in the St. Thomas's Parish to ensure that she represent well. You've heard about the work that she's been doing in terms of the roads. You've heard about the work she's been doing with the young people. You've heard about the work she's been doing in terms of the white goods cleanup. And Latoya, I mean, you're very energetic, because this is quite a lot you've done in a short space of time. And you didn't speak about the wall there at the
Cotton Ground Playfield.
Yes,
that
I know
was a
that
safety
that
hazard.
was one of the sticking points.
Yes, it was a safety hazard to the residents of St. Thomas Parish, especially Cotton Ground. And we came in and we fixed that wall. Some may say it was a massive project. I was amazed. We had to literally take it down.
It was a huge project,
Yes.
and it was a costly
Yes,
project
costly
as well.
project.
It was very
Some
costly.
may say it's just a wall, but no, it wasn't just a wall. It was a safety hazard to our people. We care about our people.
Of course.
And we were able to deliver. We rectified the problem.
You can't say just a wall, because I mean, if anything had happened,
I know.
then
It would
you
be-
know the government would have been getting all the blame as well.
Yes.
So I mean that was indeed, I said, and I know a lot of persons in the Cotton Ground area complained bitterly
Yes.
about that wall. And I know that you yourself, you would have been really pushing hard to ensure that issue was fixed, and fixed in pretty good time as well.
Just like I'm pushing now for changing rooms and bathrooms on the Cotton Ground Playfield. That too has been promised to the people of St. Thomas Parish, and we will certainly deliver on our promises. So that is one of the projects that we're looking forward to next year. And we are also looking forward to continuing the road infrastructure projects, as well as organizing some initiatives in St. Thomas's that I promised during our campaign in 2022. And Minister Evelyn, I am one person, I try to live up to my word. I don't make promises and walk away from them. I make promises and I do all that I can to fulfill them. And I know I can't fulfill them on my own, so I want to commend the leadership of this great party. I want to commend you, our other colleagues, Honorable Spencer Brown, Honorable Alexis Jeffers, Honorable Troy Liebert, Honorable Channel Nisbet. Because
Honorable Premier.
Well, I started with him, with his leadership, Honorable
Yes,
Premier, of course.
Okay, he's the man who is in charge of the
Yes,
money.
he is. He run the show.
He's the man in charge of the money. Right.
But I cannot do it without a strong team behind me. And I want to take this opportunity to thank my colleagues in CCM for providing opportunities for me and for the people of St. Thomas and Nevis on a whole. Because I was given an opportunity. And my goal is to see other young people and other persons in the community be given opportunities as well. I came in to the party welcomed me, they believed in me. Not just myself, but Honorable General Nisbet as well. You also have Mikhail Herbert as well. Now you have Miss Neela Jones. So we are empowering our young people, while at the same time embracing and acknowledging those who have helped to build the foundation on which we stand.
Indeed. And
So I'm truly grateful.
It comes back to what I was saying about the all embracing.
Yes.
All embracing.
Yes.
You know?
And that's one thing I've always said about, my colleagues and the Premier. We welcome people with open arms. We believe in people. And that's why we continue to stress people matter most.
Of course. And
Always.
I think you need to say a word on the activity that we're planning for the 20th
Yes.
of December as well for the children.
You see, it's so many projects. It's so many. So the Concerned Citizens Movement, we will be hosting a children's Christmas fun day at the Villa Grounds on the 20th of December. We're starting at 1 p.m. We are releasing our poster tomorrow, initial poster, and then more details would follow. But we are inviting all the children on the island of Nevis, as well as your families. Come along with the children and let's celebrate the season. It's a good feeling to celebrate Christmas, to celebrate Christ, and to celebrate each other, to build community spirit. And so we invite everyone to attend. We will definitely have treats for the children. I think before we did it some time ago.
Yeah, we did it some
Yes.
time back. I think it was about 2 years ago.
2 years
and
ago.
it was a hit.
Excellent.
It went very, very well.
Well
and that is-
attended.
Mhm.
The atmosphere was just right. Everyone was mingling, having good conversation. And so we want it to be bigger and better this year. And so we're inviting everyone to come and join us on the 20th of December at the Villa Grounds there next to Reliable Motors.
Yes, and I just want to endorse that from Latoya. On the 20th of December, we are looking for the children from all 5 constituencies. Send the children out in their numbers. Of course, we know children love Christmas. Children love Christmas. They love the idea of going to a little party, getting a little present, getting a little gift.
Yes.
And so we are inviting all the children to come out on the 20th. Please mark that date on your calendars. It is Saturday, the 20th of December, and it's going to be happening at the Villa Grounds. Of course, we know that it's going to be a very busy Christmas season. Next week, Wednesday, is the Christmas in the capital.
Yes.
And of course, before we go to that as well, I must say as well that next week, Tuesday, the 2nd of December, we'll have the Honorable Premier of Nevis, Honorable Mark Brantley. He'll be presenting the 2026 budget address in the Nevis Island Assembly. That's taking place next week, Tuesday. So I'm sure everybody will be glued to their radios and to their television. Tune in to see what we have to offer for 2026. And then, of course, after the presentation is made by the Premier on Tuesday, then debate starts the following day on Wednesday, the 3rd. And so I'm asking persons to mark their calendars. It's going to be, as I would have indicated earlier, it's going to be a very busy period for us, because I know I'm most likely the following week will be the budget in St. Kitts as well. But next week, folks, next week on Tuesday, please be tuned into the Eastern Caribbean's Powerhouse Vaughan Radio, and from 10 o'clock, the Honorable Premier, who is also the Minister of Finance, will be presenting the budget address, and then, of course, but as I said, the debate continues and starts on the following day, and of course, as I indicated as well, on the Wednesday will be the Christmas in the capital. That's Wednesday the 3rd, and that's normally starts at 7 o'clock. That will be held under the patronage of Mrs. Josette Myers from right here in Bath Village. So we have quite a lot of things to look forward to. And as I said, Latoya, that event for the children, I know that is something that the children will look forward to, and we're inviting the children of Nevis from all 5 constituencies to come and be a part of that event this coming the 20th of December.
Definitely. I'm also inviting everyone to attend the various Christmas tree lightings.
Yes.
As well, in the various constituencies. I know children look forward to that, but the adults usually attend as well. So,
and I know that the Community Development Department have been doing something called a Christmas passport.
Yes.
And persons who attend, I think I heard it being advertised, so I know they're going to be doing that again this year. Whoever attend the most Christmas tree lightings, they're going to be getting gifts and so on. So
and we must commend them.
Of course.
Denise Smith and her team at Community Development for their hard work.
Yes, indeed. And of course, we know that Christmas in the capital over the past years has been a spectacle. It has been a spectacle, and so we commend them, and we invite persons to come out next week, Wednesday, and be a part of that event. Latoya, we are running out of time. Anything else you wanna?
I just want to say to St. Thomas Parish, I know during our convention, I mentioned some initiatives that are coming.
Yes.
Road infrastructure was one that has begun. Also, grants and promotional activities for small and medium businesses will be coming. Job and health fairs, art and essay competition, and I will be pushing to obtain learning materials, computers, printers, books, etc. for the various community centers in the area. And
I know because you have been doing so much, you even forget to mention that you've been contributing to the St. Thomas's Primary School so often.
I know, it is just so many things. Sometimes I just have to sit back, relax, but it is a lot.
It is a lot.
And I try to be as active and involved as I can be. Everyone who knows me knows St. Thomas's Primary is my heart.
Yes.
And I do all I can to contribute to the school, whether it is for sports, for various concerts, events, you name it. I think there's going to be an event shortly for Christmas. I think it's a treasure hunt.
I'm not sure.
The school will provide details on that. And that too I would be supporting, because the school reach out, and once the school reach out and I can assist, I will assist.
Great.
So I have been donating school and essential supplies for a very long time to the school. I have sponsored students for lunch for the respective school years. I have not done so yet for this year, but I intend to, because I recognize that there are some parents who are experiencing financial difficulties, and so they've been having a little issue paying for the lunch for their children, and in that regard I will step up and assist them. I have been present, and sometimes I don't feel like I am present enough, but I continue to try. And to be honest, this has been a difficult year for me, but you know,
Yes.
but I've put my best foot forward, and I will continue to give my best to deliver for the people of St. Thomas Parish and Nevis. I know many would say, you concentrate only on St. Thomas Parish. That is not true, because a lot of the projects I've listed, persons in other parishes have benefited from those initiatives. The Women's Empowerment Workshop, the Youth Summit. All of those are open to everyone throughout the island. And I do meet with persons throughout the island as well. It's not just persons from St. Thomas's. Many would call, schedule meetings with me. They meet me at my office, and I do everything that I can to help. I also update my colleagues on matters pertaining to their respective constituencies, and they would work on addressing the concerns. So my thing is, St. Thomas Parish, we don't have representative in cabinet. And so I am overseeing.
You're bridging the gap.
Yes.
You're bridging the gap. We are running out of time. We are out of time, actually. So it has been our pleasure. One final word from you? Anything quickly?
I'm happy to be here. It was a good show. Thank you for inviting me. And I just want to wish everyone a good night and best wishes for this season.
Thank you so much. Well, that was the Honorable Latoya Jones, one of my guests for this evening. Earlier on, we had Juliet Jeffers and Pamela Martin. Remember, Pangirl premieres on Friday at 7 p.m. at NEPAC. Latoya, it has been a pleasure having you. Come again next time. So thank you so much. And I want to take this opportunity as well. I don't think I'd be on the mark again for the year. So I want to take this opportunity to wish all a very wonderful and blessed and happy and holy Christmas and all the very, very best for 2026. So on behalf of my guests this evening, Latoya and Pamela and Juliet, it has been my pleasure hosting On the Mark for this evening. Have a good night. Remember to listen again tomorrow from 1 until 3. Thank you so much. Have a good night and God bless.
Views and opinions expressed on the preceding program were solely those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect the views of the Nevis Broadcasting Company Limited or its advertisers.